Okay, nothing is actually soldered yet, but I did manage to get everything all tied together rather neatly without too much muss or fuss. So you got your leads coming off of the kill button and your leads coming off of the pickup, and everybody is more or less the same length, and they all join up like right here, and that's your coil split down there. And then this is the lead that goes on to the switch, and that's also where the lead heading for the EQ will go. So everything seems to be working out okay. It's time to dig out the soldering gun. Okay, it's all wired up. The wiring harness more or less starts here at the kill switch and the pickup, and they come down here, and right here is the place where the pickup joins the wiring harness, so to speak, and this is the place where the two of them are joined together. And then this is a piece of the shielded cabling that runs around here to the on-off switch, and then it goes from there to the equalizer, and I just hooked up the battery power for the equalizer, and you can turn the switch on the battery box on, which is located right down in there on the top, right in there, and then you can come over here and go bink, and you have an EQ. So the next step is going to be to plug it in and make sure it works. Okay, it's the next morning. Last thing I did last night is I tried it out, and it doesn't work. And I think I know why, actually. When I was soldering it up, these guys right here, the red and the white for the coil split, I'm not so sure about that particular solder joint. And if that solder joint is opened up, then these two coils are not connected to each other, and this pickup isn't going to work. So yeah, I think that's what's going on. So all I have to do is just like pop out this nail and maybe this nail here, get this tape out of the way, get the gator clips up there, and hook them up to the little baby amp, wherever the little baby amp went, and just, you know, tap directly in, and that way I can test each part of it. I should have been, you know, testing as I go. First I should have gator clipped the pickup to a cable and plugged it in the little baby amp and made sure it was working and everything. And then I should have hooked up this and then tested it again and made sure this was working. And then see, because I could have tested the pickup, and then I could have made this connection. If I tested the pickup, then I'd know right away that this thing that I think has failed was okay. And then after I made this connection and had hooked up the button and this piece of cable, I could have tested it right here, and that would have tested all this stuff. And I would have known that everything up to the on-off switch was good. So, but I didn't. I was bad, bold, confident, bad, bold, and overconfident, and now I pay the price. Time for some electronics. Okay, I came in here where that bundle of wires was, and I took out a couple pins so I get the stuff loose from the body. First I started with the red and white guy here. It was looking questionable, so I went ahead and stripped them back and twisted them up together again. They have not been soldered yet. and then I tried it through the jack, and it didn't work. And so then I went ahead and took the tape off of these two connections here and got the jumpers out and tried the jumpers on the connections while it was still all hooked up, and it didn't work. So then I went ahead and disconnected the positive of everything downstream here from the positive side of the pickup and the kill switch. And then I hooked up the jumpers, and now it works. So the problem is somewhere downstream of the pickup and the kill switch. So it's either in this piece of cable here, there's like a short, or it could be the switch, or it could be this cable here. So I've pretty much eliminated half of the problem, including the pickup, and that's good news. Making progress. Okay, I found the problem. It's on the on-off switch. This red guy here kind of melted up against the silver guy here and was grounding out. So now it works. And yeah, so all I gotta do is like get that well insulated so that won't happen, and glue the switch back on the side of the box. I had to pop it off to get at it, check it out. Resolder the positive joint here, resolder the coil tap joint, and tape it all up and tack it all up, and it should be good. Then I can pop the battery in and tune it up. Okay, on this guy here, the black part wasn't stripped back very far, and this just has a single shielded conductor inside and then a copper sheathing which acts as your ground for your second conductor. And all I did was I stripped this back about that much, and I unsoldered everything, and then I stripped that back, and then I managed to solder it all back up without melting down the switch, and now everything is all nice and separated so that I can get in there and tape it all up and nothing will touch, and everything should be good. I just tested it and it's all working now, so good to go. Okay, it's all put back together and it's all working now. I soldered up the coil split lead and the positive lead, taped up all three, the coil split, positive and negative lead, and then put a piece of tape around all those little pieces of tape just to tidy things up a bit. Put these two hold down pins back in, ran it back around here to the switch, got it all taped up nice and neat, and glued it back onto the box. Actually moved it back a little bit further, it's a little easier to get at now. And yeah, I tested it out a couple times while I was doing this, so I soldered it up and then tested it and taped it all up and then tested it again and then tacked it all down and tested it again.